Hello everyone and welcome back to Century of Economy. When we left off, the Americans were seeking to meet the Spanish and French admirals. The Spanish had claimed most of the castle and are looking to claim more. Now, on to the action. French home waters. In the distance, the American delegation is met by the Triomphe and Ville de Paris. The situation at the castle in Triangle Island. The French, Spanish, and Americans all have gunships in this area. The Americans and Spanish have grievance over the castle. The French are allied with the Spanish and are concerned about protecting their interests at Triangle Island. The result is a powder keg waiting to explode. The Spanish home island. Lumber continues to pile up, now taller than some ships. In the background, the Ziegler is sailing east, with the Castille close behind. The Spanish intend to sail through pirate waters to get to the far side of the castle. Small in size but undaunted, Spanish ships make a line on the western side of the castle. The nearby storm could be their undoing, however. Spanish gunships inch closer into position at the castle, attempting to create a solid barrier. A wider shot reveals that help is indeed on the way for the Spanish. Several of their capital ships are en route or simply just behind the front lines. Stationed on the border between the Spanish and the pirates, the Acorazado, Cruz de Cristo, and Fuerza de Dios turn north and set sail for the castle. At the end of their turn, the Spanish launch 2 submarines at Castillo del Infanta. Atlantis, with Pipin Bernadotte, Merida of Clandonbroch, helmsman, captain, cannoneer, and oarsman. Terror, with Sir Orlan Leaf, captain, helmsman, cannoneer, and oarsman. Both submarines are equipped with marines, 2 in the case of the Atlantis, which makes them able to fire on ships while submerged. While a crisis is potentially brewing in the east, the Americans are dealing with the tail end of a crisis out west. The Gnat is being towed to Pyramid Island where she will be returned to the Cursed. For the first time in quite a while, the American home island is not crowded with ships. The American controller has elected to move most of the faction's golden resources off of the home island, so as to better keep track of them and get them out of the way of movement. Keeping up their crusade against ice, the Cheyenne eliminates another iceberg by the Pyramid Island. The Venture and Enterprise duck into a fog bank, getting themselves out of the way of the Constitution and the Vermont. More silver is unloaded at the American home island. Each coin is worth double its printed value. At the Archway Island, the Ulysses and Lamon dump their crew. At the end of their turn, the Americans launch the Gold Eagle with captain, helmsman, musketeer, and oarsman from their level 5 colony. With the Gnat released by the Americans, the Skinflyer swoops in and takes the ship under tow, securing the Davy Jones Hart UT on board. Even though they moved her away, the Plague of the South couldn't escape the storm and sinks instantly. As darkness begins to fall, French ships begin to sail back into French waters from the far side of Triangle Island. At Voyenui, the Triumph makes land at the singular beach. An overhead shot of the French home island. Medicine is piled up nicely and will net the French a pretty penny when cashed in. At the end of their turn, the French launch from St. Pierre on the Portal and at Voyenui. La Charlemagne, with Robert Surcouf, helmsman, cannoneer, musketeer, and oarsman. Notre Dame, with Jordan Dumas, Barbary Coast version. Admiral Stéphane Dupuy, helmsman, firepot specialist, cannoneer, musketeer, and oarsman. La Corse, with Mattis Artus, helmsman, cannoneer, Jacques, Duc de Valois, musketeer, and oarsman. Legal from Ocean's Edge, with Guy Laplante, fire and steel, helmsman, cannoneer, musketeer, and oarsman. La Delacroix, with Aloys Garnier, helmsman, cannoneer, and oarsman. A wide shot of Spanish home waters. Space is limited as ships try and make sail. Gunships are attempting to get to the front lines, and gold ships are attempting to get home with their goods. Led by the Cruz de Cristo, a Spanish squadron sails into pirate waters. The pirates are concerned but hold fire as the Spanish gave forewarning of their arrival. Though it is awkward and strange, the Spanish have managed to get the Diablo flotilla around the castle. More of the smaller ships are on their way to join the ships waiting on the far side of the castle. More Spanish ships arrive in counter to more American ships arriving. In the upper right, the Príncipe de Asturias has gotten stuck in the Sargasso and, as a result, is delaying Spanish plans. Victor de Alva turns the San Cristobal around and heads for a rendezvous with the French and Americans. At the end of their turn, the Spanish cashed in all of their stored resources, getting themselves back over the 3,000 mark. More importantly, Commandant Mateo Vasquez has disembarked the Santísima Trinidad, meaning that the ship is combat ready. The Americans use the Kraken Gong and summon Beastie. Treasure is transferred from the Strong Arm to the home island by way of the Carolina. As more ships appear in the French and Spanish lines, the Americans call on more of their own to counter them. The Cheyenne continues about with business as usual, eliminating an iceberg from play. The Americans get the meeting they wanted, as the Vermontan Constitution get into position, and the Enterprise and Venture emerge from the fog to provide security. At the end of their turn, the Americans launch the USS Paladin with captain, helmsman, cannoneer, fireshot, and oarsman from their level 5 colony. As 2 American envoys arrive at the English home island, the English send most of their gold fleet into a fog bank by the Hidden Cove Island. Suddenly the move makes sense, as the English launch. HMS Titan with Sir Hugo Elrond, helmsman, musketeer, cannoneer, firepot specialist, and oarsman. HMS Dreadnought with Admiral James Norrington, Griffin, Admiral Robert Blake, helmsman, and Carbon Charlie. HMS Lord Algernon with Captain Percival Blake, helmsman, musketeer, cannoneer, and oarsman. HMS London with captain, helmsman, musketeer, cannoneer, and oarsman. HMS Richards with captain, helmsman, musketeer, cannoneer, and oarsman. HMS Durham with captain, helmsman, musketeer, cannoneer, firepot specialist, and oarsman. HMS Leicester with captain, helmsman, musketeer, cannoneer, and oarsman. And HMS Gallows with captain, helmsman, musketeer, cannoneer, firepot specialist, and oarsman. The pirates are wary of the Spanish squadron that is sailing through their waters, but attempts to pay them no mind as they trade for medicine. Problems arise as the Cannibal King and Skipping Stone are both tangled in Sargasso Sea. A wide shot of pirate home waters. Ships are concentrated on the eastern border, where they have been trading with the Spanish. To the west, pirate ships begin to explore Poseidon's Eye a little more seriously. An ocean-level shot of the inside of Poseidon's Eye. The English have discovered and looted a shipwreck inside the island. Making land at one of the beaches, the Orphan is dismayed to see the approaching Sasquatch. At the cursed home island, gold is piled up high on the island and docking space is limited. In the background, the Skinflayer is returning with the Gnat. From the south looking northeast, the Cursed have established a colony and raised it to level 3. The Celestin now permanently resides at the island so as not to trigger her negative ability. At this time, the current round of resources ended, and new rolls were needed. The dice were rolled with much anticipation, and came up with a 1 for duration and a 6 for value. For this next round only, resources will be worth the opposite of their face value. Lumber will be worth 6 gold, and minerals worth 1, and so on. As this duration will only last this one round, factions are unlikely to be seriously hurt by these changes. However, with this change, the gold island was refilled, as well as the stacks of gold on Voyanui, and a new stack of coins appeared on the interior lagoon island, as well as at the summit of Poseidon's Eye. This will benefit the factions that have access to these islands, but could also harm them greatly, as several unique treasures have been added to the mix. At Voyanui, the French gunships quickly sail out, eager to get away from the volcanic island. An overhead shot of the French home island. The Fitu has been redeployed from Triangle Island and will assist in gathering coins from the colony. Gunships also set sail from St. Pierre on the Portal, heading in a general northwest direction. At the bottom of the frame, the Nautilus II has emerged from the portal. At the end of their turn, the French launched La Scipion, with Marie Astrid, Silver Explorer, and Baron Danglars from their home island. For this one turn, lumber is worth 6 gold and the Spanish work to get at least 1 cargo of lumber to the home island. Resources are transferred between ships and extra actions metered out. The Rociante takes the resources home, while the Buscador docks and loads another full hold of the resource. Discussions begin in earnest between the Spanish and the Americans. Things quickly get testy. At the home island, some lumber is unloaded along with some medicine, but the vast majority of Spanish runners remain docked. Almirante Salazar joins the discussions when the Calavera del Diablo makes sail for Triangle Island. Exploring a stack of coins at Castillo del Infanta, the Santa Ana finds a sunken treasure and a whirlpool. The whirlpool dragged the Santa Ana to the nearest whirlpool and then forced her through it. She emerges unscathed on the far side of the ocean on the back end of Poseidon's Eye. At the end of their turn, the Spanish launched La Ebro inside the lagoon, and the Devil Ray with the helmsman from Castillo del Infanta. Treasure has also reappeared in the sub-ocean, and the Whitmore takes advantage, exploring an island. Among several shiny coins, she also finds the Nui Codex, which will allow her to ignore islands when moving, but also finds the Pirata Codex, which removes all face-up unique treasures in the sub-ocean. This removes the Cow from the Serpent's Fang, which is then instantly crushed by the water pressure and removed from the game. Using her tremendous speed, the USS Spirit enters Voinui Bay and docks at the beach, exploring a stack of coins. To the dismay of the Americans, the Spirit finds the Doldrums UT, which freezes her for a whopping 6 turns. At the northern portal, the Frontier finds an albatross. Exploring the level 5 colony island, the Americans make a game-changing discovery, a drift. This treasure makes all islands unexplored and resets all resources on all islands. Business as usual for the Cheyenne. The Americans quickly sail away from the English, bearing this message: "Do not start any conflict in or around our waters, or we will finish it." Discussions quickly come to an end between the Americans and Spanish, with no real progress made. Exploring their single goal island, the English find the Eye of Insanity in Mordu, which will prevent the loading of any treasure from the island until he is eliminated. Bringing their gold ships out of the fog, the English move their gunships accordingly, creating a loose ring around their waters. To the south, 3 English sloops sail past the Phantom. Shamshir resists the urge to annihilate them. With islands reset, the pirates explore both Sharktooth and Kanohi Island, finding spices and lumber respectively. The Kanohi Dragon sails broadside to the Castille, and it advises her to get a move on. Across the sea, the Orphan risks a reef and makes land at the far side of Poseidon's Eye, but does not have an explorer to explore this part of the island. Exploring their colony, the pirates find the Antikythera mechanism and lost. While exploring the island, the pirates also upgrade the colony to level 5. In the sub-ocean, Gogclogs makes contact with an island and prepares to explore to see what treasures may be found. With something now worth guarding, the Locker and Pryadak spring into action and circle the island. Kalama slowly makes his way toward the Locker and Philip Baraki Pryadak. On the other side of the sub-ocean, the Pyre observes the Lamon as it enters the sub-ocean. Slarg Gubbet makes ready to explore an island. Behind it, Calypsos and Ehlek hover near the whirlpool that leads back to the surface. With extra actions ready, the sea monsters explore their islands in the sub-ocean, finding a mixed bag. Gogclog finds rum in a dead man's chest, while Slarg finds fruit in Pandora's box. The Americans place the Chariot of the Gods on the monster, while the Cursed give themselves the Cow. All of the sea dragons converge on the far side of Poseidon's Eye to keep an eye on the goings-on there. Exploring the home island side of Poseidon's Eye, the Cursed find medicine, currently worth 5 gold apiece. A storm moves towards St. Pierre, making the French and Spanish nervous. And that wraps up this report. Resources are set to change value. Who will benefit from the change, and who will be hurt by it? If you want to see what happens next, make sure you're subscribed. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.